I am Arif Ajakia, a Sindhi by birth, by DNA. My ancestors were living in peace and harmony in the most prosperous, independent state of Sindh in Indian continent, centuries before. In Sindh, and my ancestor had to migrate to Gujarat state, and in 1947 we came back to Sindh, and I was born in Karachi, capital of occupied Sindh. I would take this opportunity to thank and grateful for this important seminar, International Forum of Intercultural, Interreligious and International Center Against Terrorism. It's a very important topic. Who would know terrorism better than we, people of Pakistan? Pakistan is an artificial fake country created for some designs, and it's involved in three forms of terrorism, which are main kinds of terrorism: global terrorism, cross-border terrorism, and state terrorism. It's a unique country that is involved in all three kinds of terrorism. Global terrorism, we all know 9/11 was planned in ISI headquarters, GHQ, Rawalpindi. This is global terrorism. Cross-border terrorism, Pakistan is master of cross-border terrorism because in neighboring Afghanistan and India, Pakistan has been involved in cross-border terrorism since decades. And fundamental human rights in these states then are at stake because of this cross-border terrorism. And then state terrorism. We are the victims of state terrorism. There are other kinds of militancies, but all those militancies are in counter, in retaliation of state terrorism, when your rights are subjugated, when your people are occupied, and your people don't get anything in return, then they rise up against the state. Baluchistan and Sindh are occupied states. They were always independent states, but Pakistan occupied by force for their huge depots of natural resources. People of Sindh and Baluchistan face gross human rights violations day, night, weeks, years, decades. And we have decided to get independence. People call them terrorists who are taking up militancy against state terrorism. But what about Kurdish people? They were promised freedom after First World War, after Second World War, and after the war of Iraq in 90s. They were promised by international forces, by allied forces, that you will be independent. They are occupied by Turkey, they are occupied by Syria, Iran, and Iraq, and they are facing gross human rights violations. Their people are kidnapped, missed people. So what will they do? They will take up arms. And in certain areas, in certain criteria, United Nations allows taking up arms for your rights. When your state is a terrorist state, what will you do? How would you save your people? Self-defense is an international law. And these people, for example, in Baluchistan, what is happening in Baluchistan? 50,000 people are missing people. They abduct anyone, they torture them, they throw their bodies on the streets, or you will find a mass graves with 50, 100, 200 bodies. So what will they do? How long they will face this? They did same in Bangladesh, which was East Pakistan, but Bangladesh case was easier because there were no huge natural resources. Sindh and Baluchistan are full of natural resources worth trillions of dollars, and Punjabi army of Pakistan does not want to leave it. So Pakistan's case is very difficult, and we, the peaceful people from Sindh and Baluchistan, we look at international forces, we look at United Nations, And what we get is only support of NGOs. Interfair International has been supporting our cause since decades, since 90s, mid-90s. Dr. Charles Reyes, Mr. Biro, and they allow us to raise our issues on these kind of forums. So we are in a very difficult situation in Pakistan, and we urge international authorities, the United States, the European Union, the United Kingdom, the United Nations, to look after our case, to support us, and to influence Pakistan not to restore human rights. Now we are on point of no return. We want independent Sindh, we want independent Baluchistan. Nothing less than that, nothing more than that. Thank you very much.